Alright, ladies and gentlemen, how's everybody doing on this Saturday, June the 20th, 2020? Welcome to another metallic episode of Music of Destruction right here on YouTube, bringing you the best in metal-related content. If you guys have been enjoying this series as well as all of my other series of content, I was going to put out a top 15 video this week. I am currently still working on that. I'm deciding on my top 15 metal guitarists or my top 15 extreme metal albums that will be up this coming Thursday. However, if you missed anything this week, just click the eye in the upper right corner of the screen right now. Get caught up on all of the latest content here on Music of Destruction. I hope you guys have been enjoying this new channel. I've only been at this for about 8 months now, and it was time to take a different direction. I really love how I've been taking a different approach with the types of content I make, and I hope the Metal Album Warfare series is one that you guys have been thoroughly enjoying, along with album rankings, top 15s, album reviews, and band interviews. I am going to try and get more band interviews in the coming year. It's going to take some time. Jeff Becerra is still in touch with me. I'm trying to get Possessed. I just got to keep talking to Jeff and find out when he can get on. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into this episode of Metal Album Warfare. So tonight's episode, we've got Striborg, This Suffocating Existence, going up against Ars Diavoli Pro Nihilo Esse, released in 2008 on Debut Morte Productions, and Striborg's This Suffocating Existence, released in 2015 on Raised Soul Productions. Now, both of these guys play a very misanthropic, depressive, hateful, ambient style of black metal, and to me, these are two of the greatest in the genre. I got a lot of Striborg's albums. I've only got the one album from Ars Diavoli, hails from Portugal. Striborg hails from Australia. And the reason I picked these two albums is because they have a very similar atmosphere. So let's just get right into it here. So we got Angustia Suffocating going up against A Lone Vigil in a Haunted Asylum from Striborg. And both of these tracks have a very dissonant, depressing atmosphere, very misanthropic, dark, foreboding atmosphere. And these albums flow quite similarly in terms of direction, creative, artistic endeavor, and also emotion and lyricism, as both of these artists are extremely misanthropic in their approach. But the tracks are very equal in my opinion, and they're quite similar. So it's going to be difficult to pick a winner here. In terms of like presentation and what the song's overall emotional composition is, emotional delivery, sincerity, passion, Angustia Suffocating is one of the greatest tracks on this album. However, the whole album is phenomenal. But so is A Lone Vigil in a Haunted Asylum from Striborg. So I think I'm going to have to give this to Angustia Suffocating, which is Ars Diavoli. So we got a 1-0 lead for Ars Diavoli. Next up we have Ira Otto Infligidia, I think is how you say it. This is hard to pronounce. Remember, it's all in Portuguese. Going up against the Bermuda Forest from Striborg. Again, very similar in terms of direction, creative atmosphere, and riffing, guitar riffs and drumming. Remember, these videos are completely off the cuff. So definitely got a very similar atmosphere going on. But I think I'm going to give it to Striborg with the Bermuda Forest. I mean, these are both such killer albums. Again, I don't buy music where one album is like leaps and bounds better than another. I try to keep my musical tastes, in my opinion, very similar. I try to keep buying albums that I feel are top-notch. So there isn't really a lot of stuff in my collection that's subpar, at least to me. So these Metal Album Warfare videos are going to end in quite a few ties. There might be a slight edge for one album over another. Next up, we have Pro Nihilo Esse going up against Suicidal Ghost. And both of those songs, again, very, very similar in terms of creative atmosphere, direction, emotion, passion, riffing, guitar riffs, bass, drumming, vocals. I mean, the vocals actually between these two are quite similar, although Striborg's are more drenched in reverb than the dude from Ars Diavoli. But I think I'm going to have to give this one to Ars Diavoli with Pro Nihilo Esse. Next up, we have Vis Compulsivia going up against Sleep Paralysis. Now, very different in terms of direction on these two tracks, and but they're very, very similar as well. Like I said, these two albums are very similar to one another, in my opinion. And I think I'm going to give it to Striborg with Sleep Paralysis, so that's a 2-2 tie. Yeah, or a 3-3 tie, sorry, anyway, or 2-2 tie, anyway. Next up we have Venesario Suicida going up against the Black Cloud Enshrouds Me. I'm going to have to give it to Ars Diavoli on that one. And then very killer tracks on both of these. It's very hard to pick a winner. Next up we have De Remes going up against this Suffocating Existence. So this is a 16-minute closer on this one, and I think this one's only 9 or 10 minutes. But again, these albums are so similar in terms of creative direction and overall compositional complexity, song structuring, riffing, drumming, guitaring, that I think they're going to get a tie because, again, very, very amazing albums in my opinion. And I really find that Misanthropic DSBM, there is a lot of creative differences between the artists involved in the scene, but there's also those similarities in terms of the overall structural, compositional direction of the music and the atmosphere that these guys are trying to create, that it's just going to be, it's a tie between the Suffocating Existence and Pro Nihilo Esse. And the song in the background is actually Angustia Suffocante right now, if you guys didn't know that. And I don't know, I just think both of these records are absolutely fucking incredible. So it's very difficult for me to pick a winner. However, you know, I think you could benefit from getting both of these albums if you're a fan of black metal. I think these are two albums that you definitely should pick up. And there's going to be a full review of both of these albums coming up in the coming weeks here on Music of Destruction. So look forward to that. I always enjoy doing these metal album warfare videos for you guys. And I don't know if you've heard of these two bands, Striborg or Ars Diavoli, but if you have, let me know in the comments your feelings on these two records. If you've heard them, if you haven't heard them, I'd be interested to know what your take is on both of these artists, as they are two of my favorite black metal artists. And hey, if you're new, make sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on that bell so you don't miss anything here on the channel. I'd greatly appreciate it. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram, search Music of Destruction. I'd greatly appreciate that as well. Join the Facebook group for all things metal. Go to facebook.com/groups/Music of Destruction. We've got over 400 members now. If you run a band, label, merch, whatever, man. If you're a metal YouTuber, podcaster, join that group. Promote your band. Promote anything metal related in there. I'd greatly appreciate that, as well as I want to get more interaction there. If you want to support the channel through Patreon, I'd greatly appreciate that. Helps keep the channel going, keeps the podcast going. You are going to get exclusive content. The Seed, episode number 22, the history of Ronnie James Dio, or Dio, up there right now for you guys. Part 1, did a great job with that one. I'm looking forward to part 2, which is coming up in 1 week on June the 27th. So thank you so much for your continued support through Patreon. It's been a great journey with that. I've got, you know, it's still building as this channel is new. I just hope you guys see the value in what I do here, and if you feel like supporting for even $1 a month, that'd be awesome as well. And I'll do reviews on albums you suggest. If you leave them in the comments, just no genres you know for a fact I don't like slam or deathcore. You know, just pick stuff you think I might like, if you know what my tastes are based on the stuff I review. I would greatly appreciate it, as I don't want to review things I don't like, because a lot of people can't handle my brutal honesty when it comes to certain bands. So, you know how people get. Anyway, shoutouts. Shadows of Death Records. Check out his website. Go to shadowsofdeathrecords.com. Going to be reviewing some of his stuff this coming week. I'm probably going to do a Burning Victims of Fear review. I believe is the name of the album. I'd have to get it from my buddy Gail. But thank you so much, Gail. Shout out to the Pissing Razors and Texas Voodoo Stomp and Terry Marquez, the manager. Great friends there. And Metal Ben's Chronicles, King of Swords, and Acid Metal and Morticide. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Metal Album Warfares. We will see you in the next video. Have yourselves a great weekend. Stay fucking metal. Cheers.